The Varath sovereignty's royal garden had the specific, significant quality of the royal garden, the centuries of the careful cultivation, and the particular architectural quality of a space that understood its purpose, was the demonstration of the sovereignty's aesthetic sensibility, and that was, in the understanding, performing the demonstration with the full quality the purpose required. Kale Sorn had been in the royal garden for 3 days. He was 32 years old, an Accord Cultural Exchange Program coordinator, and he had the specific quality that 7 years of the cultural exchange work had built in him. Not the senior diplomat's quality, not the decorated official's quality, not the strategic quality of someone whose name appeared in the formal planning documents. The particular, functional quality of someone who existed in the operational space between the two civilizations' cultural frameworks. The person who organized the exchange visits and the joint cultural events, and the particular, practical function of the programs that built the human-level understanding between the Accord and the Varath sovereignty, that the institutional framework's formal quality alone did not produce. 7 years of that function. He was good at it. He was also in the specific, honest admission of someone who knew his own qualities with the honest attention the knowing deserved, occasionally prone to the particular quality of the comfortable lapse. The specific, natural quality of someone who had been in the cultural exchanges space for long enough that the formal quality of the cross-cultural engagement had become the comfortable quality of the familiar space, and who was, in the comfortable quality's familiar space, occasionally present with the complete quality of someone who had forgotten, in the forgetting's particular, honest way, that the comfortable quality was not the same quality as the safe quality. Princess Aravaln had been conducting the cultural exchange program's 3rd day with the specific, gracious quality of someone who understood the informal function's purpose, and who was, in the understanding, giving the informal function the complete quality the purpose required. She was 27 years old. He had been reading her for 3 days with the cultural exchange coordinator's professional attention. The specific, comprehensive quality of someone whose function was the accurate reading of the cultural engagement's quality, and who was, in the reading, building the complete picture of the participant with the full quality of the honest attention. She had the specific, complete quality of someone for whom the cultural engagement was the genuine function rather than the performed function. The particular, honest quality of someone who was interested in the actual understanding rather than the institutional picture of the understanding. The direct communication. The genuine question asked because the genuine answer was what the asking was for. The specific, complete quality of someone who was in the genuine space of the genuine engagement with the full quality of the genuine presence. He had filed this with the professional observation's honest quality. The most genuinely engaged cultural exchange participant he had encountered in 7 years of the program. The garden's eastern section had the specific, domestic quality of the royal family's private cultivation, the particular, honest character of somewhere that was built for the family's use rather than the formal function's demonstration, the specific, warm quality of somewhere that was the genuine space rather than the institutional space. The centuries of the careful cultivation, present not in the formal quality, but in the domestic quality, the particular, warm character of somewhere that was loved rather than maintained. She had been showing him the eastern section with the warm quality of someone showing someone something they genuinely cared about. The traditional planting arrangement, the Varath domestic tradition's characteristic pattern, the specific, complete quality of the family cultivation that the Varath cultural framework valued with the full quality of the genuine valuing across the generations. The maintenance requirements, the particular seasonal quality of the cultivation's care, the specific traditional knowledge of what the plants required and when they required it, and how the requirement's quality determined the harvest's quality. The seasonal recipes, the particular complete quality of the domestic knowledge that the cultivation produced, the specific traditional recipes that the seasonal harvest's different qualities produced with the complete quality of the traditional knowledge carried across the generations. He had been listening with the genuine interest of someone who found the domestic cultural framework specific, honest quality genuinely interesting, not the performed interest of the cultural exchange coordinator performing the engagement, the genuine interest of someone who was in the space, and who was, in the being, present in the space with the full quality of the genuine attention. She had concluded the description with the particular warm quality of someone who had given the description the full quality it deserved. and who was, in the concluding, present in the concluding with the satisfaction of the genuine sharing. He had looked at the eastern section's cultivation, and the royal garden's domestic warmth, and the 7 years of the cultural exchange program, and the 3 days of the genuine engagement, and the comfortable quality of the familiar space. He had said, with the comfortable quality, with the natural quality of the experienced practitioner in the familiar space, with the particular, honest quality of someone who was in the comfortable space, and who was, in the being, present in the comfortable space's natural expression. Without the deliberation was not required for. You know the cultivation's traditional patterns and the seasonal recipes and the domestic maintenance requirements with the complete quality. You would make a perfect wife. He had meant it as the light observation, the comfortable quality's natural expression, the specific warm acknowledgement of the genuine domestic knowledge with the humor's easy register. Princess Era Vaun looked at him. She looked at him with the full quality of the complete attention, not the light quality, not the social acknowledgement's comfortable register. The specific, direct quality of someone who had heard something and who was, in the hearing, present in the something with the full quality of the genuine engagement. She said, "Then I will be yours." The garden was very still. The stillness had the specific, complete quality of somewhere that had received something significant, and that was, in the receiving, present in the significant thing with the full quality of the complete stillness. The royal garden's attendants were in the stillness. The cultural exchange program's accompanying staff were in the stillness. All of them in the stillness, with the complete quality of people who had heard something and who were, in the hearing, understanding what they had heard with the full quality of the understanding. He had not understood what he had heard. He had heard her words with the comfortable quality of the familiar space, the particular, natural quality of someone in the cultural exchange's comfortable register who was, in the being, receiving the words with the register's comfortable quality rather than the word's actual quality. He said with the light quality, "Ha, yes, of course, the perfect domestic arrangement." She looked at him. "Yes," she said, "the perfect domestic arrangement I accept." The stillness deepened. He looked at her. He looked at the stillness's quality, the specific, compressed character of the attendants, and the staff all present in the stillness with the full quality of people who were in the significant thing, and who were, in the being, giving the significant thing the space the significant thing required. He said, with the quality of someone whose comfortable register was beginning to produce the particular, honest signal that the comfortable register occasionally produced, when the comfortable register was the wrong register for the current situation. I was the light observation, the humor's quality, the specific, natural quality of the cultural exchange's comfortable conversation. She looked at him. "Yes," she said, "I know the humor's quality. I have been in the cultural exchange's comfortable conversation for 3 days, and I understand the humor's register." She looked at him with the full quality. The words were the proposal's form. He looked at her. "The proposal's form?" he said. "Yes," she said. In the Varath cultural framework, the specific acknowledgement of a person's domestic suitability combined with the relational designation, the wife quality, is the proposal's form. The form's public utterance in the presence of witnesses constitutes the formal proposal's character. He was very quiet. He was quiet with the specific, compressed quality of someone whose 7 years of the cultural exchange program's accumulated professional knowledge was, in the moment, producing the particular, urgent assessment of the current situation's complete character. 7 years. He had the specific, comprehensive professional knowledge of the Varath ceremonial calendar and the formal greeting protocols and the gift-giving traditions and the institutional hierarchy's navigation, and the particular, complete quality of the cultural exchange coordinator's knowledge base. He did not have, he was, in the moment, understanding this with the full quality of the understanding, the specific knowledge of the Varath proposal tradition's domestic form, the domestic acknowledgement combined with the relational designation, the public utterance, the witnesses, he looked at the garden's attendants, the witnesses, he looked at her. The formal proposal's character, he said. "Yes," she said. "And your response," he said. "The acceptance," she said. "Yes." "The public acceptance," he said. "In the presence of the witnesses," she said. "Yes." He looked at the garden. He looked at the royal palace's presence beyond the garden. He looked at the cultural exchange program's 7 years, and the comfortable quality and the familiar space, and the eastern section's domestic cultivation, and the specific, natural expression of the comfortable quality and the witnesses present in the specific, unfortunate quality of the witnesses being present. The court, he said. Yes, she said. The formal acceptance in the presence of witnesses requires the court's notification within the standard notification period. How long is the standard notification period? He said. 4 hours, she said. He looked at the garden, he looked at the palace, he looked at her. Princess Era, he said, the honest account. Yes, she said. The words were the humor's quality, he said. The light observation of the genuine domestic knowledge. The comfortable quality of the cultural exchange's familiar space. The specific, natural expression of the experienced practitioner in the comfortable register. He looked at her. The words were not the intentional proposal. She looked at him. Yes, she said, I know. You know, he said. Yes, she said. The humor's register was present, the light quality was present. The comfortable quality of the familiar space was present in the words with the full quality of the comfortable familiarity's natural expression. She looked at him. I know the words were the humor's quality. He looked at her. And you accepted, he said. Yes, she said. Knowing the words were the humor's quality, he said. Yes, she said. He looked at her. Why, he said, the honest answer. She looked at the eastern section's cultivation. The honest answer, she said, requires the complete version. Yes, he said, the complete version. She looked at him. The Varath Cultural Framework's proposal tradition, she said, contains the specific provision for the unintentional proposal, the particular honest quality of the framework's acknowledgement that the proposal form can be present in the words without the intentional quality. The provision allows the recipient of the unintentional proposal to decline without the formal consequence. He looked at her. The provision allows the decline, he said. Yes, she said. And you did not decline, he said. No, she said. He looked at her. Why, he said. She looked at the cultivation. She looked at him with the full quality of the complete attention, the specific, direct quality of someone who was in the honest space of the honest answer and who was, in the being, giving the honest space the honest expression it deserved. Because the words were the humor's quality, she said. And the humor's quality was the comfortable quality of someone who was in the genuine space of the cultural exchange's familiar conversation, and who was, in the being, simply present in the conversation with the full quality of the genuine engagement. She looked at him. The comfortable quality, the familiar space, the 7 years of the cultural exchange program present in the natural expression. Yes, he said. The natural expression, she said, of someone who has been in the Varath cultural framework space for 7 years and who has, in the 7 years, built the particular, comfortable quality of genuine familiarity. He looked at her. The familiarity, he said. Yes, she said. 7 years of the cultural exchange program. The specific accumulated quality of someone who has been in the genuine engagement with the Varath cultural framework for 7 years and who has, in the 7 years, built the genuine familiarity's comfortable quality. She paused. The seasonal recipes asked about because the asking was the genuine interest. The cultivation's traditional patterns engaged with because the engagement was the genuine engagement. 3 days of the honest attention, given because the honest attention was the natural quality. He was quiet, and the natural expression, he said. The natural expression, she said, is the honest expression. The comfortable familiarity's natural expression is the honest expression of the comfortable familiarity. She looked at him. The proposal's form in the humor's register was the honest expression of the 7 years' genuine familiarity. He looked at her. He looked at the eastern section and the cultivation and the witnesses and the 4 hours and the court's notification and the palace. The honest expression was the sufficient reason, he said. She looked at him. Yes, she said. The honest expression was the sufficient reason. The court's notification had the specific, complete quality of the institutional framework, doing what the institutional framework did when the significant thing required the notification. The formal record, and the official acknowledgement, and the particular, complete quality of the Varath sovereignty's governance structure, processing the significant information with the thoroughness the processing required. He had been conducted to the formal waiting area. He had waited with the specific, honest quality of someone who was processing the significant situation with the full quality of the honest assessment. The 7 years' professional knowledge applied to the current situation's complete character. The proposal form, the public utterance, the witnesses, the acceptance, the 4-hour notification, the court's record, the Queen. All of it the specific institutional quality of the Varath cultural framework doing what the Varath cultural framework did when the proposal's form and the acceptance had been present in the public space in the presence of witnesses. He had not known about the proposal form. He looked at the 7 years. The 7 years had built the comprehensive knowledge of the formal cultural framework, the ceremonial calendar and the greeting protocols and the gift-giving traditions and the institutional hierarchies navigation. The knowledge that the cultural exchange coordinator's professional function required for the institutional function's quality. The proposal form was not the institutional function's knowledge. The proposal form was the domestic cultural framework's knowledge, the specific, particular quality of the Varath cultural tradition that lived in the space between the institutional framework and the personal framework, the particular, honest quality of the cultural knowledge that was present in the daily life space, rather than the formal function space. He had built the institutional framework's knowledge. He had built the comfortable familiarities knowledge. He had not built the complete knowledge. The gap, 7 years and the gap. The court's senior counsel arrived at the 2nd hour. The court has completed the notification's formal record, the senior counsel said. Yes, he said. The Queen will receive you at the 3rd hour, the senior counsel said. The senior counsel had the specific, 22-year quality of someone who had been reading the Varath sovereignty's significant situations for 22 years. The senior counsel said, has been in the imperial court's function for 22 years. The senior counsel has not previously processed the specific situation of the cultural exchange coordinator's unintentional proposal in the Royal Garden's eastern section. No, he said, I imagine not. The senior counsel's observation, the senior counsel said. The princess had the provision available. Yes, he said, she told me. The princess did not use the provision, the senior counsel said. No, he said. The senior counsel looked at him with the 22 years quality. The princess's decision to not use the provision, the senior counsel said, in the full knowledge of the unintentional quality, has the specific, particular character of a significant decision made with the complete quality of the deliberate choice. Yes, he said. The Queen will receive you at the 3rd hour, the senior counsel said. The Queen received him at the 3rd hour. Queen Myra Valne had the specific, complete quality of the Varath sovereignty's monarch, the institutional quality present in the person with the full weight of 26 years of the governance's complete context. She looked at him, he looked at her. The cultural exchange coordinator, she said, 7 years. Yes, he said. The eastern section's cultivation, she said. The domestic knowledge, the seasonal recipes, the traditional patterns. Yes, he said. And the words, she said. Yes, he said. The words, the humor's register, the comfortable quality of the familiar space, the natural expression. He looked at the Queen, the unintentional proposal. Yes, the Queen said, I know. He looked at her. You know, he said. The senior counsel's account, she said. The witnesses' accounts, the specific, complete quality of the cultural exchange coordinator in the comfortable register's natural expression. She looked at him. The unintentional quality was clear. And he said, and my daughter did not use the provision, she said. No, he said. She looked at him for a long moment. Tell me, she said, what you understand about why she did not use the provision. He looked at the Queen. He looked at the formal reception room and the 7 years and the 3 days and the eastern section and the domestic knowledge and the comfortable familiarity. The honest version, he said, is that I have 7 years of the Varath cultural framework's professional knowledge and 3 days of the cultural exchange program's informal engagement, and the specific, complete picture that the 3 days have built. He paused. And the 3 days' complete picture contains the specific, particular quality of someone who was in the genuine space of the genuine engagement, and who was, in the being, present in the genuine engagement with the honest quality of someone for whom the Varath domestic cultural framework's knowledge is the genuine interest. The Queen looked at him. The genuine interest, she said. Yes, he said. Not the institutional quality, the genuine quality, the seasonal recipes and the cultivation's traditional patterns and the domestic maintenance requirements. He looked at the Queen, the genuine interest, the honest attention. The Queen was quiet. My daughter, she said, has been in the cultural exchange program's engagement for 3 days. She has the provision available. She made the deliberate choice. Yes, he said. The Queen's position, she said, is that the deliberate choice was made with the complete quality of the deliberate choice, and that the deliberate choice's quality is the queen's daughter's quality, and that the queen's daughter's quality is the sufficient reason. He looked at her. The sufficient reason, he said. Yes, the queen said, the sufficient reason. She was in the eastern section when he returned. The same space, the domestic cultivation and the traditional patterns and the seasonal warmth of the particular, honest space that was the family's space rather than the institutional space. She was tending the cultivation with the specific natural quality of someone doing the function because the function required doing. She looked up when he entered the eastern section. He stood in the entrance. She looked at him. The queen received you, she said. Yes, he said. And, she said. He looked at the eastern section's cultivation. He looked at the traditional patterns and the seasonal warmth and the domestic knowledge and the 3 days and the 7 years and the comfortable familiarity and the natural expression and the honest expression and the provision not used and the deliberate choice. He looked at her. The provision was available, he said. Yes, she said. You knew the words were the humor's quality, he said. Yes, she said. And you did not use the provision, he said. No, she said. He looked at her. The honest expression was the sufficient reason, he said. She looked at him. Yes, she said. The natural expression of the comfortable familiarity is the honest expression of the comfortable familiarity. The 7 years' genuine engagement present in the natural expression. She looked at him. The honest expression was the sufficient reason. He looked at the cultivation. The second season's harvest, he said. The specific, traditional recipe that requires the 3-day preparation. She looked at him. Yes, she said. You mentioned it, he said. The preparation's quality determines the recipe's quality. Yes, she said. The preparation begins today, he said. She looked at him with the full quality, not the princess's formal quality, not the institutional register. The specific, genuine quality of someone who was in the honest space, and who was, in the being, present in it with the full quality of the genuine response. Yes, she said. The preparation begins today. He looked at the cultivation. He looked at her. Era, he said. Her name in the Accord's personal register, not the princess's formal designation, not the Varath sovereignty's royal heir's institutional address. The name in the register of the eastern section and the 3 days and the comfortable familiarity and the honest expression and the honest space. She looked at him. Kale, she said. His name in the Varath personal register, not the cultural exchange coordinator's designation, not the Accord program's representative. The name in the register of the honest space. Outside the eastern section, the royal garden continued its function with the patient, institutional quality of the significant garden doing what the significant garden was built to do. The formal spaces, and the ceremonial function, and the sovereignty's complete quality, all present with the full quality of the significant institution. Inside the eastern section, the cultural exchange coordinator and the princess were in the specific, genuine quality of the honest space. The space that the 7 years and the 3 days and the comfortable familiarity and the natural expression and the proposal's form and the humor's register and the witnesses and the acceptance and the provision not used and the deliberate choice and the queen's sufficient reason and the honest expression and the second season's preparation beginning today and the name in the honest space's register had built. Not the institutional space, not the formal proposal and the formal acceptance and the court's notification and the queen's formal reception. The honest space, where the comfortable familiarity was the genuine familiarity, where the natural expression was the honest expression, where the seasonal recipes were the genuine interest and the honest attention was the natural quality and the second season's preparation began today, where the name was said in the register of the genuine thing, which was, as the 7 years and the 3 days and the comfortable familiarity and the natural expression and the honest expression and the deliberate choice and the sufficient reason and the honest space had always been building toward. Exactly where the honest expression led when it was the genuine expression of the genuine familiarity, and the genuine familiarity was the sufficient reason. The honest expression real, the deliberate choice real, the preparation beginning today, together.